For centuries, we've seen Dante's Divine Comedy as one of the greatest poems ever written. A masterpiece, for sure. But what if it's something more? What if it's actually an encoded roadmap for a secret spiritual journey? Well, today we're diving into that very theory, pioneered by the philosopher René Guénon, who argued that Dante left us a key to unlock a much, much deeper reality.
Now, this isn't just a modern conspiracy theory. Dante himself basically calls us out right in the middle of the Inferno. He's telling us point blank, hey, pay attention, there's a hidden doctrine here, a secret teaching woven into these verses. He is literally challenging us to find it.
And that, of course, leads to the big question, the one that's fascinated people for ages. If he was hiding a secret doctrine, what was it? And why on earth did it have to be hidden in the first place?
Okay, so to even start to answer that, we have to look at how he built his work. See, Dante wasn't just writing a story. He was constructing a cathedral of meaning with complex, interlocking layers.
And this part is absolutely crucial. This isn't just speculation. In his other writings, Dante explicitly says that his work is meant to be interpreted on 4 distinct levels. So looking for a hidden meaning isn't just a fun exercise, we're literally following the author's own instruction manual.
So, what are these layers? Well, scholars and readers pretty much agree on the first 3, but it's that 4th one, the deepest, most secret layer, that's where things get really fascinating.
All right, so you've got the first layer, the literal one. It's the story of a man's journey through hell, purgatory, and paradise. Simple enough. Then you've got the philosophical layer. It's an allegory for the soul's journey back to God. And then there's the political layer, a fiery critique of the corrupt church and society of his day. Okay, 1, 2, 3. But Dante said there were 4. So what is that missing piece of the puzzle?
According to René Guénon, that 4th meaning is initiatic. And what that means is that the Divine Comedy isn't just a story about a spiritual journey, it is a manual for one. It's a precise step-by-step guide to the process of spiritual initiation, a roadmap for a total transformation of consciousness.
Now, to really get this, we have to understand the difference between public or exoteric religion and these secret esoteric traditions. Think of it this way. The exoteric is the public part of a faith, its rules and rituals for everyone. But the esoteric, that's the hidden, universal truth that lies at the heart of many religions, a path of direct knowledge meant only for a select few. Guénon's whole argument is that Dante was writing for those few.
But who were these few? I mean, the secret doctrine implies a secret group, right? And as it turns out, the evidence suggests Dante wasn't just a member of one, he may have been a leader.
Okay, so let's do a little detective work. Clues point to an organization called the Fide Santa, or Holy Faith. This was kind of a lay order connected to the Knights Templar. And get this, medals from that time have been found with these cryptic initials on them, which scholars believe translate to Holy Faith Kadosh, Imperial Principality, Brother Templar. That word kadosh is a Hebrew term for holy, and it's also a high degree in traditions that trace their lineage back to the Templars. That's a pretty direct link.
And if you want the smoking gun, look no further than the poem itself. Who's Dante's final guide? The one who leads him to the ultimate vision of God. It's Saint Bernard of Clairvaux. And who was Saint Bernard? He was the man who wrote the original rule for the Knights Templar. Come on, that's not a coincidence. That is a massive symbolic clue that the Templar path is the way to the ultimate truth.
Okay, so if Dante was part of this secret Templar tradition, how did he hide their teachings in his poem? Well, he used a complex, multi-layered code of symbols, allegory, and, most importantly, numbers.
Now, this is where it gets really systematic and just cool. Guénon discovered that Dante's 7 heavens correspond perfectly to the 7 classical liberal arts. So the first heaven, the moon, lines up with grammar, the second, Mercury, with dialectic, and so on. But for these secret groups, these weren't just school subjects. Each art was an esoteric science, a specific stage of initiation. The journey through the heavens is literally a curriculum for ascending levels of knowledge.
And numbers, oh man, numbers are the absolute backbone of this code. The number 3 is just everywhere, right? 3 books, 3-line stanzas, it represents the divine trinity. And 9, which is Beatrice's number, is 3 times 3, symbolizing the angelic hierarchies.
7 is also a huge deal. It stands for the 7 planets we just saw, the 7 liberal arts, the 7 terraces of purgatory, the 7 virtues. You get the idea. It's a number that represents cosmic order and spiritual purification.
But, according to Guénon, The most important number, the most secret number of all, is 11. This wasn't just another symbol. It was a sign of recognition, a kind of secret handshake for those who were in on the secret. And just look at how deep this goes. The entire poetic meter of the comedy is built on lines of 11 syllables. Key episodes are structured in blocks of 11 or 22 stanzas. And of course, each of the 3 books has 33 cantos, a multiple of 11. So the number 11 isn't just dropped in here and there. It is literally the architectural blueprint of the entire poem. Now things got even more cloak and dagger. After the Knights Templar were brutally wiped out in 1307, Dante had to make his code even more secret. So he added another layer based on the apocalyptic numbers 666 and 515. For him, 666 was the number of the corrupt powers that destroyed the Templars. But 515, which in Roman numerals is DVX, stood for the hoped-for leader, or DVX, who would restore justice. And the best part? What do the digits of 515 add up to? 5 plus 1 plus 5 is 11.
So what this interpretation really does is it blows the whole thing wide open. It reframes the Divine Comedy not just as a Christian poem, but as a work of universal spiritual significance, connecting it to a global current of esoteric thought.
I mean, just look at these parallels. Dante's journey is shockingly similar to the Islamic tradition of the Miraj, the Prophet Muhammad's mystical journey through the heavens and hells. The structure of hell as a funnel under Jerusalem, the celestial architecture, the purification rituals, they're almost identical. It strongly suggests Dante was tapping into a universal initiatic tradition, one that groups like the Templars helped to transmit across cultures.
And if all that wasn't mind-bending enough, get a load of the timeline. Dante specifically sets his vision in the year 1300. Why? Because he presents it as the exact midpoint of world history. He's working with a cosmic cycle of 13,000 years, a number that is incredibly close to the actual astronomical time it takes for half of the precession of the equinoxes. He didn't just place his journey at the center of the world, he placed it at the absolute center of time itself.
So, what does this all mean? When we put on these esoteric glasses, how does it change our view of this incredible masterpiece?
Here's the big takeaway. Guénon's theory proposes that the Divine Comedy is nothing less than an encrypted map to spiritual enlightenment, written in a secret language. It points to a hidden tradition connecting the Knights Templar to a much wider, universal stream of wisdom. The journey itself isn't just a story, it's a symbolic pilgrimage to the axis of the world, that quiet, still point at the very center of all creation.
It just completely changes how you see one of the world's greatest works of art, turning it from a beautiful poem into a living, breathing mystery. And it leaves us with this one last, fascinating question. If a secret this huge can be hidden in a work as famous as the Divine Comedy, what other masterpieces out there are hiding their own secrets, right in plain sight?